Recorded Books and One Click Digital present The Red Eagles by David Downing, narrated by R.C. Bray.
To those Germans who had the courage to take a stand against their Nazi rulers. Prologue. New York City, 1944. Her contact stood with his back to the delicatessen window. In one hand, the book with the green binding, in the other, the spare pair of gloves. Though it was night, Amy could tell he had a rather nice face. There was a hint of innocence about it. As if by rote, she glanced up and down the street one more time, saw nothing, and then took the orange out of her bag and started walking toward him. Amy was strangely nervous. She could tell from the way the sounds of her heels on the sidewalk seemed to echo. He noticed her and the orange, looked surprised for an instant, then wary. "Can you tell me the way to Grand Central Station?" she asked. His face relaxed. "I'm going that way myself," he said, as if it were an old joke. "Harry's sick and couldn't make it," she said. And it was at that moment that she saw, reflected in a window, a man staring at them. Her reaction was so quick she even startled herself. She took her companion's arm and forced them both into motion with a suddenness that almost knocked him over. "What?" "We're being watched. Don't turn around," she whispered. They walked west toward Lexington Avenue, the clicking of her heels sounding louder than ever. "What do we do?" he asked. "Where are you staying?" "The Pierre." "Stop and tie your shoelaces." As he did, she looked back. The man was still there, staring at a fire hydrant. "Damn," she muttered to herself. She'd been so careful, and still it hadn't been careful enough. They resumed walking, turning onto Lexington past a newsstand announcing the Allied attack on Monte Cassino. "They must know something," he said. But there was no panic in his voice, and for that she was grateful. "If they knew anything, you wouldn't still be on the street," she said, as much to convince herself as him. "It's just routine surveillance. I've got an idea. It's risky, but there's nothing else we can do. You're a single man in New York. If they believe I'm a hooker—" "But can you think of anything better?" He said nothing. She hailed a cab and watched through the rear window as their tails signaled a car that had been cruising along behind him. Reaching the hotel, they crossed the lobby to the elevators. Amy was conscious of the stares she received from the men as she tried to strut by with a slightly exaggerated sway of her hips. She hoped she wasn't overdoing it for her intended audience.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?